products kind of working together? And do you have examples of where that's happening today?
One example that it's a trust call remediation product. It's got a couple different variants depending on how we want to use it, but essentially it helps monitor the reputation of your caller IDs. When I'm calling someone, how likely am I to show up as spam likely or potential spam, depending on your carrier? How likely is that to show on the caller ID? And there's a lot of factors that drive that. Lead source is a huge one, especially for customers that are calling into something called honeypots. Now, for those of you who don't know what they are, they're traps that are set up by whether it's app companies or carriers or whomever, somebody trying to find if you're calling numbers that you really shouldn't be calling. Their thought process behind it is if you're calling this, you're not doing your due diligence on scanning your list, you're not getting consent, that sort of thing. So if you're calling these, you must be a bad actor. That's one theory. Another theory is lead fraud. You are getting people filling out leads because they're just trying to track who's telemarketer. So they're submitting a lead saying, yeah, this is my phone number, call me at this number, and it's a honeypot. We'll get alerts through our trust call system that, hey, customers are calling into honeypots. They're showing up as spammers. We talk to the customers, and the customers say, hey, I've got the whole proof that this person opted in. Here's my form. Here's where they filled it in. I've got the recording, whatever. I can prove I've got the evidence this was filled out. So how is that happening? So that's where we'll go to Anura. And we in fact have, gone to Anura and said, okay, here's the situation. How can we trap these?
Those things can happen a lot through fraudulent activity. Whether it's a bot coming along filling out those forms or if it's something else coming out. It's funny because, honeypots are used for a lot of different things. You guys use them on the call side. And we recommend some clients, like, curious if a bot's filling out their form, you set up a honeypot on their own landing pages by simply using hidden input fields in their form fields and putting in, date of birth, and something that a human can't see, but the bot sees it and the bot fills it out. So you can kind of catch, some fraudulent activity that way. And that technique's getting older and older and less effective, but it's still something that people do use. And I had somebody who was getting hit with bots, and I said, well, here's a simple test. Put an invisible link on your site that says robots click here and see if you get any clicks on that page. And sure enough, they were getting enough hits to say, I've got some concern because I'm getting clicks on an invisible link that no one else can see. And I'm like, that's an example of a basic bot of general and valid traffic. And that's stuff that, that's stuff that we focus on a regular basis. But yeah, so it's important to keep that stuff clean coming in, and it will help people avoid calling into those type of situations.